If you are working or living from a place of safety, a place where you feel safe, isn't that safe place you are working around still have a boundary of fear? If so, how do you eliminate fear? Because I don't see how resonating or acting from a safe place is heroic.
That is a very good question. Thank you for asking the question. Most of humanity conflates the experiences in their lives with the experiences of others. It is heroic to believe something that very few people believe. For is that not what you characterize as heroic? Those who do the things that few people will do, those who overcome great odds or overcome something to achieve something that leads to value fulfillment or that leads to something that is in service of others. That is the nature of the relationship between believing that you live in a safe world, that you live in a safe universe, when most people do not believe that. It is absolutely heroic of you to believe that. Because of that, and because also in your non-physical nature, in the portions of you that are still in non-physical dimensions, then your consciousness already believes that. And so the idea of being safe while experiencing anything and everything is a very normal thought in non-physical dimensions. But here in the third dimension, it is not a normal thought. In the non-physical dimension, it's very normal to creatively express yourself without fear. In the non-physical dimensions, it is very normal to be spontaneous and move into the unknown just to have the experience. The unknown, not certain if you're going to experience something you like or you don't. In the non-physical dimension, those things are normal. But here in your time and space realities, this third dimension, that is not the norm. And those few individuals who demonstrate those tendencies are thought of as heroic. Those humans are the ones who are thought of as doing extraordinary things, like being fearless. Well, being fearless is normal in the non-physical dimensions. And so from your aspect, from terms that you think of it, the heroic dimension is the non-physical dimension, because that's where fearlessness abides. Then that's where it's normal to be creative and spontaneous. That's where it's normal not to care what anybody else thinks of you. Here in this third dimension, that would be considered heroic and brave and courageous and strong. But in the non-physical dimensions, it's normal. So if in your third dimension, being fearless and strong and brave and courageous and not caring what other people think, if those are heroes' qualities, if those are heroic tendencies, well, those are the tendencies and the same qualities that exist in the non-physical dimensions. So from your point of view, that would be a heroic dimension where everyone is fearless. In your world, this is something unique. This is something different. This has a separate label of being heroic. So what is heroic to you here in the third dimension is normal in the non-physical dimension. So if those behaviors and attributes are heroic to you here, then it means then non-physical is a heroic dimension. And believing that you are safe at all times in this world, no matter what, unconditionally, and that you are safe at all times, no matter what in the universe, well, this belief would be categorized in the heroic definition, in the heroic category. Why? Because it is not the norm. It is not a normal belief for people to move about in this time and space reality, opening their eyes and knowing without a doubt, believing with everything that they are in existence, that they are always completely safe. Because when you are always completely safe, you always completely trust yourself, right? If you're always safe in the world and you're always safe in the universe and nothing can harm you, you trust a lot more. When you trust a lot more, you take what the world considers more chances. And who are the kinds of people that do that? Heroic people, people who know that they're safe, people who know that nothing bad can happen, people who know that they don't have to worry about what other people think about them because they know who they are. Those people are considered, in your terms, in your world, as heroic. And in the non-physical dimension, that's just normal. So that's why believing that you are safe in the world at all times, believing that you are safe in the universe at all times, no matter what, unconditionally, meaning totally. That is why that would be heroic of you to believe that, because it's not the norm. And it is the heroes of your world that move beyond their fears of unsafety. They move beyond their lack of trust to accomplish great deeds. You see, that is why it is heroic to have that belief in the first place. To believe that your body can defend itself and protect itself against every single thing is heroic, because few people believe that. It's completely unconditional. If you believe that everyone in the world loves you and only wants to be kind to you and only wants to help and support you and share their abundance with you, if you believe that every living thing, physical or non-physical in the universe, loves you and only wants to help you and only wants to support you and share their abundance with you, if you believe that totally, you are among the rare that are even willing to set aside the distortions of your limiting beliefs to, on faith, assimilate those new unconditional beliefs. That is what makes you heroic, doing things that most people are not willing to do for the good, taking yourself into spaces that most people are uncomfortable taking themselves so that you can serve, taking yourself into places that cause you pain, but it's a distorted level of pain because the emotional pain that you're feeling is only a reflection of limiting beliefs that don't serve you anyway. But people who are willing to face those down and start living another life, you call them heroes here in this world, in this time-space reality. So yes, believing that you live in a completely safe world and a completely safe universe, believing that your body is never vulnerable to anything, believing that you are loved by everyone in the world, and creating a world where that is so, creating a world where every living thing in the universe loves you and wants to help you and wants to support you. Not only you, but you can expand that belief and say that every living thing in the universe wants to support and help humanity. You could create a belief that serves not only you, but serves your entire race. And if that's how you use your power as consciousness in physical form, you are a rare bird. And rare birds in your world are called heroes. And rare birds who use their power to create good, to create love, to create positive, you call them heroes. And creating a world where you're safe and everyone else is as well is heroic, because you are moving away from the flow of the masses to be a force of good in the world. And people who go against the flow of the masses to be a force of good in the world are called heroes. You define them as being heroic. That is the nature of the relationship between the terms.